with the Tour du Ghana. And trust me, this one is not for the faint-hearted. And yes, you heard me right. We're pedaling for the planet from Accra all the way to Aflao. That's a massive 192 kilometers of speed, stamina, and pure excitement. It's happening on the 21st of June. That's a Saturday. So whether you're a solo rider or part of a team, this is your chance to be part of Ghana's biggest cycling event. If you are ready for the ride of your life, simply pick up your phone and dial these numbers. It's 053-1100-927 or 053-2200-927. Make sure you dial these numbers to register or simply make inquiries. This year's Tour du Ghana is proudly sponsored by Malta Guinness, Frutelli, and Fatherhood, where love and care come together. Imagine a haven where all your baby care needs are met under one roof. Discounted, finer, and in large quantities. You heard me right. 3FM Baby Fair is back in June. It's your ultimate destination for all things childcare and comfort. So do make a date with us this June at the Marina Mall and enjoy exclusive discounts on the cutest clothes, toys, learning materials, as well as a wide range of items for moms, dads, and the kids. As always, we'll have expert advice from child care experts, lots of games, giveaways, and excitement. You know how we do. There's also live entertainment to keep the children geared up. And you know it's always games galore. There's face painting, bouncy castles, you name it. The kids are certainly not left behind. Come and create unforgettable memories with your mini-me's. Save the date. In June, we do it big. It's 3FM's Baby Fair 3.0. And it's powered by 3FM 92.7. How about some exciting news coming from Ashesi University? 92.7. Now, they've been expanding access over the past few years, adding new undergraduate programs and master's programs. Now, Ashesi has introduced a two-intake admissions system for undergraduate applicants, so students can start their studies in either a September cohort or a January cohort. It's all part of a goal to welcome more bright minds into the Ashesi community. You too can learn more at ashesi.edu.gh. Are you looking to hire top talents? Join the KNUST Career Fair on the 5th and 6th of June 2025 at the KNUST Great Hall. It's happening 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Come and connect with bright, ambitious students and alumni ready to make an impact. This is your opportunity to showcase your organization, conduct interviews, network with potential candidates, and engage with other leading employers. Reserve your booth now and explore sponsorship packages to boost your brand visibility. Simply call 0322 190 741 or visit admin.careerservices at knust.edu.gh. That's admin.careerservices at knust.edu.gh to secure your spot. The deadline is tomorrow. The 30th of May, 2025. Don't miss out. And speaking about exciting things, I've got two exciting gentlemen in the 3FM studios. Let me say good morning and a very warm welcome to Ken Addo. He needs no introduction, but he's head of partnerships and promotions right here at Media General. Also an on-air personality, event MC, so many other things. We be heavy. I'm mentioning the off-the-clock things.
No, it's all fine. I just miss doing the LPMs over on the other side.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, we have... In fact, once we finish, you can switch seats with me. I have no qualms.
Okay.
I just pick my bag and make my way.
That's fine.
Unihao.
I can have some time with DJ Abiam.
Yeah.
It's a throwback Thursday.
It's a throwback Thursday.
You know I love throwbacks,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so on a Thursday like this, we can't go wrong with anything around the console.
All right. So once we're done, Ken Addo takes over on the 3 Lounge. Just put your seatbelts on. I've also got in the studio Isaac Kujo, Executive Director, Advertising Association of Ghana. Mr. Kujo, good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you. But you see, I was also on radio.
How long ago was this?
No, that's a long time ago. I was on Joy FM.
Okay.
Wow.
Komlang, Standard Contemporary,
In fact, then both gentlemen, I'll be handing over the show to them officially. You heard it here.
But that was purely news, so I'm not. Yeah.
So we'll leave the midday for him.
Okay, we'll leave that. I'll let Beatrice do and the rest of the team know that we have a veteran in the studio ready to show them some honor too. But gentlemen, welcome to 3 Lounge. It's the 17th edition Gong Gong Festival of Creativity and Awards.
Yep.
For those of us who may be uninitiated, what exactly is this all about?
You're asking me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Gong Gong is it's been around for a long time. I understand that you're uninitiated, but for those who've been around for some time, it's been around for 2 decades or more. And so this is the 17. This is 17 because there's been some pauses. I think for last 2 years, for instance, there was a deliberate pause for us to review it. But Gong Gong is a flagship program for the advertising industry, not just for Advertising Association of Ghana, but for the entire industry, to showcase excellence in creativity, media, and brand communication. So we reward creativity for agencies and for brands that are excellent and excelling in the industry and in advertising and marketing communication, and that is done every year. This is the 17th one, and it's a bit different because we had to do a deliberate pause, as I told you earlier, for us to be able to review it and align it to global standards. Advertising is an industry that's always changing. Every year there's something going on, and there's disruption every year, every time. AI is disruption enough, and so we had to do that pause and do that reconnection to global standards here.
Exciting. You mentioned disruption. In fact, the theme of this year's festival and awards is Disrupt and inspire. So you had to disrupt things for some 2 years to make way for some inspiration. Tell us more about this theme and what exactly inspired it and how that's going to feed into the larger agenda.
Yeah, so as I told you earlier, advertising is always evolving. It's a trendsetter kind of industry. Digital transformation is rapidly increasing and changing every day and every year and every time. Even as we sit here, things are changing. Somebody's thinking about something else to do that will disrupt the environment, positively, really. Consumer behavior cannot be predicted over a year or two. That's why I say that even researches for, let's say, traditional media sometimes cannot be relied on after 2 years because consumer behavior is constantly changing because of digital connectivity and global, all the social media platforms that are coming, and also taste and appetite of people, society changes and over time. So it's an industry that if you're in, you've got to be a disruptive thinker, so that where the consumer is going is where you're going, because that's your attention. Everything we do in creativity and brand building is linked to audiences and consumer response and consumer hitting the bottom line. That's what the interest is. So we need to now pause and say, look, we are a disruptive industry. Every brand, the big brands that are doing well nationally, regionally, globally, are brands that do not conform to trends. They are brands that challenge trends and set trends. And so that is what we're doing this year. We are kind of re-engineering that thinking that we are a disruptive industry.
Now, Ken, let me come to you. I know the Advertising Association of Ghana has entered into a partnership agreement with Media General to give this a boost.
Certainly.
What does that mean for Media General and the awards for this edition in particular?
Well, I think that we have to understand the fact that media goes in hand with advertising. Yeah. Advertisers use media, and for the last decades whatsoever, we would have seen different kinds of advertising agencies being set up, and we work with them closely, from radio to TV to all the other things that we do, even our events and everything. And so when the call came for this partnership, we received it in good hands, and we think that for the rest of the years to come ahead of us, we will be able to espouse the good deeds of these people, the men and women who are putting the creatives. To put out the creative is not easy, first of all.
People think it's something that you can just sleep and then wake up, put something together.
To first of all think of a concept, put the script together to be able to convince the consumer or the person who is listening to the radio
or the brand owner,
even the brand owner. I mean, at the end of the day, the consumer who is going to make the return by going to make a purchase, or even try a product, creating awareness, raising interest, getting people to even move to buy a product or use a service is a difficult thing. And so when these creatives in these various agencies put this stuff together, it's just right that you reward excellence. And so as Media General, we stand for excellence as well when it comes to our quality of production and everything. And so when they brought the deal up, we're like, let's do it. We can be able to put together this partnership and raise awareness to let people, corporate Ghana, I mean, day in, day out, we have new companies coming up, new organizations setting up and all that. Let them know that there are people, there are creatives within our space that can do the job. You don't have to go to South Africa or go to Kenya or go to Europe to go and get your creatives done. We have equally good people here, and that's the reason why TV3, Media General, and 3FM, we're using this opportunity to let everybody know that we have good people here. And so the partnership is to promote what we have and to also let people know that when it comes to quality, there's only one place to come to, and that's TV3. And that's what this whole partnership is about. So we're looking forward to a week full of exciting activities. I'm sure he'll go into details. There is an event on the 14th of June. There's another event on the 25th and 26th of June. And then there's the 28th of June, which is the awards night proper at the Labadi Beach Hotel, where all these agencies are coming out. I don't want to mention names and leave names of agencies, but there are a lot of them who are doing amazing, and they are all coming together. And TV3 is going to broadcast the event live for people to actually see the men and women who are doing amazingly well within the space.
Well, Mr. Kojo, let me come to you on this one. How do these awards influence brands and agencies in Ghana?
So as a bragging right thing, already the awards kind of set pace for excellence, as I told you earlier, and it creates the spirit of competition. And if you're competing with 10 agencies in one category and 3 stand out, say gold, bronze, silver, and yours is not chosen, it's not because it's not good work. Of course it's good work, and that's why you even made it to the final. But it tells you that there's some work that has cutting edge excellence, and so that will make you want to emulate what others are doing within the same category or the same space. If it's media, if it's digital, if it is social, influencer, all of that, So you want to, so it creates some kind of competition and excellence and standards for others. But it's also a bragging right. For agencies, it's moral booster thing for them that my work has been acknowledged by the best in the industry, because you see, we have about 50 jurors. So each category has about 6 jurors. So for 10 categories or 10 broad categories, are 60 jurors judging this work over a period of time. And these are people from the industry itself,
Right.
and also allied services. So for your work to stand out is really a bragging right, and for the agency, right? And it also breeds trust between the agency and the client. For the clients, it's a big thing. It means that you are industry leader if your brand is chosen to be the one that's leading the category. So so it's really like a barometer, for the industry. Yeah, measuring excellence. Yeah.
And seeing as we are disrupting and inspiring this year, what new thing can stakeholders expect in this latest edition?
Okay, a number of new things. TV3 Media General is a new thing. We haven't had this partnership before,
Right.
and the fact that we had to have this partnership is because it's a testament of where Media General and TV3 are. We must acknowledge that when it comes to production and these kind of events, TGMA is a testament. Not only that, many years back you started this music show thing, music.
I mean, we have done music.
Several things. I'm just saying, like,
yes,
you've done
GMB
so many
and all
things
of
that really stand out. So cutting edge experience and the best in Ghana. So the partnership, that is a new thing for us to also raise the image of the industry using your platform. Not only nationally but globally as well, because you reach out beyond Ghana. So that's new. Other new things are that the categories have changed.
Okay.
Before then, we used to have just sector-oriented categories. So let's say you would have fashion industry, automobile industry, cosmetics, or if you like, aviation industry. Then we break them down to radio, TV, and print. That's how it was. But now we align them to the global standard. So you would see categories like digital excellence, social and influencer marketing, design and design craft, film and film craft. You see things like media craft. These were not there before. We even now have the Gong Gong for good, which means that agencies that have done things that have social impact, not for the money, but impacting people's lives. So the categories have changed. But then also now we're going to have the performances are going to change, and Ken has put up a lot of shows, so I believe that this is going to be a different one altogether. and the other last thing I'll say is that now it's not a one-day show. Previously, Gong Gong had been just, we hype it up and then it's just one Saturday.
One night.
We give awards and we are gone. But this time is a week-long kind of activity reading. So we have the June 14th that Ken mentioned, which is the inter-agency and corporate fund games at the Aviation Social Center. I said that TV3 can come on if you have the appetite for it.
Certainly.
Because some of the sponsors, like I think EcoBank, for instance, they want to participate. And then we'll have the brands and creativity exhibition at the Accra Mall, benefiting from the natural flow of the crowd at the Accra Mall. Right. The brand that's happening on the 25th and 26th. And so we have some brands that are going to showcase their work. Some of our sponsors are going to have their panels, to showcase their work. But also agencies will also showcase their work as to how many brands they've built over the years. And we're going to have a medium of adverts. You mentioned this morning on.
I mean, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, Helen, if you remember, I think there was AJ was here, and then Ashoriba was also here, and we were reminiscing on back in the day commercials that were exciting. Up to today, you can still sing the Sunlight commercial song.
Sunlight and water.
Very good. That's one.
Yes.
You remember the
Ediani.
Exactly. And the key, so Medofupa.
Yes.
You remember that commercial? Yeah. And then Honey Kuchi Kuchi. You remember that commercial?
That's the Tigo thing, right?
Yes. So these are all some of the things that he's mentioning, that we are going back in the time in retrospect and to see some of these amazing commercials that have been done. They've transcended times, like decades to this point, and we can still remember.
Very strong,
and when you play these commercials, they still resonate. They still make sense. Then that's what advertising is about, because you are talking to psychography, you are talking to demography. But the commercial has to transcend time. So when you are watching a Coca-Cola advert that was produced 30 years ago, you can still relate to it. And that's what creativity is all about. And that's what, of course, TV3 is also standing for, because at Desawe, like is a house of stories. And we've told stories from 1997 till now that still resonate, from Talented Kids to Ghana's Most Beautiful to Mentor to Music to TV3 New Day to all the other shows that we have, including your own Lady Circle.
That's right.
In the last couple of years. And so the stories have been told, but this time, like the saying goes, they said if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far, you collaborate. And that's what we are talking about. These are, this is an industry that has come far and is going far. And Media General is also going far. But to go more far, we have to collaborate, and that's what this whole partnership is.
You've unlocked some memories now with some of these throwback adverts, and that speaks to the power of advertising. Sometimes you can even remember how the scenery was at that time in that particular year. Very, very powerful indeed, and that's why you say this revamp is happening to ensure that we enhance that side of the economy. This is big business indeed, and I was quite saddened, Ken, when you say that people actually will go outside because they don't think they can achieve that same quality and excellence at home.
Yes, I mean, there are certain businesses that I know personally that have gone outside of Ghana to get commercials produced, right?
It happens.
Exactly.
But you see, there's quality here. We've had quality. I can mention some agencies that have been around for a long time. It was Lentas those days.
Yes.
Now Mullen we have Originate and Dentu and the likes like the Innova that have built global, not Ghana brands, global brands. And so we have quality in here. The thing that we need, which you mentioned Nigeria in our last conversation in South Africa.
Right.
They have regulation.
Okay.
We don't have. So regulation means that it's local content. So it's kind of built off not just advertising agencies alone, but it's for the film industry. It affects the film industry, the fashion industry, and all of that. So we have to really be serious about the regulation. We've developed a bill, or we call the Advertising Council Bill, which we have forwarded to the Ministry of Trade and Industry. It's enjoyed in the 7th and 8th Parliament. It enjoyed the first reading and second reading, but that's where it got to. And Parliament didn't pass it.
The hope is that in this 9th Parliament we see some more traction on that side.
So this new Parliament, we are believing that there'll be some traction with the Trade Ministry, because it's not sitting with us. It's actually, we developed it, but we are giving it off to government.
Right.
So government will regulate. We may be sitting on the board, but it's a government thing. So that way you can regulate the practitioners, you can regulate content, you can regulate also the environment. See the billboards
all over town.
The mess we're creating all over the place.
So the regulations will also speak to that.
Yes, right. There's got to be regulation so that whatever you're doing, you're regulated. And if you flout the law or the regulation, then your license is pulled, then you cannot practice anymore. So we need to have that.
Well, now that you've sufficiently whet our appetites, how do we get tickets for the Gong Gong Festival of Creativity and Awards?
So 2 places, right? TV3, Lily is in charge. Lily, I've forgotten her number, but this one
Lily Mockley.
Lily Mockley can get you some tickets. And then we have the Advertising Association of Ghana office as well at the Asylum Down. We have, now it's tier, the tickets are tier. We have the VIP, that has its own cloud. If you want to give your clients and your friends some experience, you come for the VIP. Right. And we're selling per table, so 10 to a table. So the VIP is 15,000. The standard is 10,000. It's a dinner night, so we're not just watching and all this creative work, but we're also watching performances. That's
it's coming with an experience.
So it's the red carpet experience and all of that. It's going to be a whole combo. So
when Ken says it's going to be an experience, I mean, if you know about the wonders of Ken Nanado, then your heart will be rested. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much
this morning.
Just to touch a bit on that, I mean, from conversations like this and from the awards night, for the bill that he's talking about, I mean, conversations like this and what we are seeking to do, the messages, the conversations, the interviews, and all the things that we'll be doing henceforth is supposed to raise more awareness when it comes to the conversation around the bill.
Okay.
So by the time the awards is done on the 28th of June at the Labadi Beach Hotel, the government would have heard more about the agencies. We've seen, like he said, 7th and 8th Parliament. So by the time we are done, we would have seen the promotions going, we would have seen different people speaking, agencies coming out to speak, and all of those ones. It's now going to raise the awareness for government to pay attention to that. I mean, not to divert the conversation, but it's same with music. So will the music space has suffered over the years because there was a point that on radio we're playing foreign music. We have thousands of musicians in this country producing equally good music, but they are fighting for space on radio.
In their own country.
In their own country. They are fighting for space, on TV and everywhere because foreign music is dominating. But gradually, we're getting there. It is by the efforts of the media outlets and the media houses, and the DJs becoming conscious of the fact that our boys are doing good music and so they should promote it. But it has to go beyond that to the national level. The conversation has to go with the policy that comes to say that we are playing 95% of Ghanaian music on our radio, on our TV. So it's the same thing with advertising. If local content, we have local advertising agencies and producers. If we have brands and organizations setting up in this country, you have to engage our local advertising agencies. And then
because the excellence is here.
It's here. It's
and people can get jobs to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very, very important conversations. This is a money conversation. It affects you and I, a boost to the economy. Indeed, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time
Helen.
this morning. Again, this morning we've been speaking with Ken Nana Addo, Head of Partnerships and Promotions, Media General, also on-air personality. He'll be taking over the show. He thinks I was joking. Also, a very big thank you to Isaac Kujo, Executive Director, Advertising Association of Ghana. But of course, this is still 3 Lounge, 29 minutes to the top of the hour, 12 noon. The vibes are still high.